many times when you already know what's in there inside a particular file, then you can also like feel free to reject the request and just type in whatever you know, so that it doesn't go into the file to read the complete file to understand something which you already know. So now what it says is, let's check if the backend has the correct API routes. Let's approve it. We have auth, users, transaction, files, insights, and on UI, it's calling trends, transactions, monthly report, transactions. Let's go back. Let's approve it. Now it is going to see if this API router is properly included. Now let's check main simple py file to see it includes API router. Okay. Okay. Which file is this? This is main simple. Okay, so this change is now added by row. It was not there earlier. Let's save this. It has created two main files. One is main simple and main py. I think it has created this main simple for doing some, like, utilizing it for testing. Okay, we have an issue with backend. Let's check token schema file. Token.py, checking the token schema file, and then init.py file in schemas directory to see what's importing token data. Token data to token.py. Okay, this is token.py. It has now added the token data. We earlier had token payload. Now we also added token data. It is now like started looking into these schemas as well, if there are any issues in the schemas that we created, and it says it found another issue in this transaction response schema. So transaction.py had transaction base, transaction create, update in DB base. This is base schema for transaction data from database, then transaction, and then this transaction response. Transaction create has transaction base, adding ID. Okay, now let's check if the backend server is running properly. Our backend server is here, and I see some issues. It says no module name SciPy. Where did it occur? Cannot import name transaction response from app schema transactions. Let's share this error. Let me first see if we have. So from where the errors are starting from here. This is the stack trace. Okay, let's share this error with root. We have to cancel at this point because it says it looks like we're running into multiple issues with backend. Since our task is focused on implementing an error boundary, which was the earlier task, and now we have moved on to some other task. But since this chat was earlier started with that issue, that error, it's considering that the core for this chat window. Let's create a so it's trying to create a simplified version of main simple py that doesn't include complex dependencies, but we want to fix all of the backend errors. So it has added these new tasks. Good. Let's approve it. It also identifies issue with SciPy, and it's also going to fix this transaction response schema issue. Let's see in requirements file if we have it or no. Okay, it's not there. So now it will add in the requirements file because we'll need this while running the application. Save this. Now next one is transaction response schema issue. Okay, so it is updating voice.py to use transaction schema instead of transaction response. And now it also needs to update that voice model here. So now it has created one simple API.py. I don't like to have too many files, like to keep creating new files, but these can help us in testing, and we can clean up these, we can note these down, and then we can clean up these when these are no longer required, or ask root to clean these extra files up later once we are all set. So here it has created the simple API.py where it has added all of the mock details so that it can directly, try things out with this mock data rather than having to run like whole, like a lot of set of the complete implementation. So let's save this. It has added the APIs like trends, monthly report, the ones that which we were able to see in the UI, which were getting called on the page load. So it will be easier for you to identify the issues and test first, like go step by step and first test with these endpoints and then dig into more details. Now I think let's run this and then I can delete the existing terminal which is no longer used. Okay. It says address already in use. Let me try again. Okay, it's going to stop the existing server, though I have killed the terminal. Maybe it's also like terminated. Run again. So now the application is running. So let me go and try to refresh. So right now what happens? It has run the simple API, so all the requests should come to simple API rather than going to our main application. So now let's see on the UI. Let's try to refresh. We're still facing issues. So now it says 404, but at least we're not getting the course error. It says this, it was not able to find this URL. Okay, this endpoint. So let's go back and see if we have API/transactions here. Okay, so now it is in the refactored code, like the in the code which was added by row, it has added it as API/v1/transactions and for even all of the other APIs. So we might we also need to fix this to match. Either we fix the UI or we fix the backend. So let's fix the simple API.py because anyways we'll be having without v1 in our actual code. So UI is calling this, whereas in simple API we have transactions, right? Now it should be able to fix for all of the endpoints, not just transactions. Let's see how it goes. So it has removed, but unfortunately it has only removed for transactions. So save this and ask it. Okay, before I gave it this instruction, it was going to update the other API endpoints. I was too quick to judge it. But I don't understand why it's doing it one by one and not in one go. This is monthly endpoint. Okay, it already did for API inside trends and transactions. transactions we saw, but I don't know when it did change for the other endpoint. Let's see if this. Let's go back and see. Okay, so this time it's working like good, but the thing is, this data, all of this data is dummy data, and these the data is coming from simple API.py, which is like all hard coded. Now, at least we now know that the calls are going to the backend layer, and now we'll need to see by changing the simple.api to our main application and see if those APIs registered in our main application works with the real data or not. Not real data, but in sense the data which is going to be there in the database. So now let's tell Ru it's working on the UI. Now can we check it with our main application? So UI elements are working pretty nice. We are also able to download the CSV, but I'm not sure if it's having any data. Let's see. So, okay, cool. And download PDF report. PDF generation would happen here. In real implementation, this would download a PDF file. Okay, so right now we're just having a placeholder which I'm able to see right now. And okay, we need to fix the issues for all the other pages. Right now we are only focusing on dashboard first. Let's go back to rule. Okay, it's working. Okay, let's update our to-do list. I don't see it has added anything in its to-do. It with simple API with dummy data. Now we need to test it with our main application, main.py. I think this yellow task is already done by it. And now it should move to the last one, which it recently added. Okay, so it's going to stop the simple API app, and then it's going to start the main.py. Start the application with main.py. I'm not sure why it's creating main API.py. again, since we already have main, and it is adding categories like the dummy data here. We already have the application in place with the DB connection and all the implementation. The file is main.py. The simplified app API simplified version is already tested and working for us. So this is deleted now. Or I think if even this time it doesn't work, then we will open a new chat and we'll try to chat in that new window. Okay, let's approve it, see if it's any better now. Oh, it already had this main simple app. Main.py is this. There we have the router, we have the course settings and the health endpoint. And here we are getting into error, going into errors, this one. So it says module not found, app.db. This is the backend, this is the database. This is the front end. It's not able to connect to 8000 because we're not able to start the server because of this error. I'm just going to reject and provide it again the error. My message I think is in queue.